Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Welcome back to Nelson Radio. We're broadcasting from this beautiful luxury estate, 11,000 square feet of paradise that looks across Del Mar, the Raceway, and the Pacific Ocean. A spectacular property, and really for a spectacular event, as we've been looking at the launch of Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices California properties. And let me just, as you drive around, let me just share with you a couple of stats. They've got 3,200 sales associates located in 62 offices across Southern California, Central Coast. Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices California Properties is one of the top 5 brokerages in the nation, and its agents close, get this, nearly $11 billion in sales volume and more than 14,000 transactions. I'm not quite certain if I did 14,000 of anything in 2012. We have now David Cabot, the Commander-in-Chief, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices California Properties. It's a mouthful. I got it out. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
So we've been talking about the power of positive and the willingness to make change, and the observation is the obvious. There's so many people that even if change is good, are hesitant or withdrawn or intimidated by change. You're running towards change.
Yeah, and we're running full speed, by the way. This is a change that we chose. It wasn't forced on us, so we're lucky enough to be the first company nationwide to roll out the Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices name. And we've been planning this for months and months and months. And we've gotten to a point now where I think all of our agents understand it. Our signs are changing over the next 48 hours to 72 hours. It's a huge, huge opportunity.
And a huge, daunting task
with
all the changes.
And it took a lot of people. This was an enormous effort from an enormous number of people inside the company to make sure all these pieces happen the way they were supposed to be. They've done an amazing job, quite honestly.
And so for you, as you lead the charge here and the ambassador, the spokesperson for the campaign, what do you look to as the things that you rush towards and some things that would be a challenge?
Well, the challenges were all the little details. How do you order a sign? How do you order 33,000 signs, which is what we did? How do you order tens of thousands of business cards, which is what we've done? How do you redo all the brochures? We have one lady here, Elizabeth Tyson over there. She's been in charge of that. She's done an amazing job of coordinating all that, keeping people happy, talking to our agents, talking to our managers, making sure all these pieces work. It is a daunting task, but it isn't if you actually care about it. And we do. We care about what we do. Everything we do is geared towards our agents and our customers. And once you have that perspective, the rest of it's easy.
I can see in the excitement of an event like this and everybody that, as it's been described, is now rushing at a full sprint towards change.
Exactly.
But the passion leads the charge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as you talk to the people here today, you can see that passion. It's not just me. I just happen to be the spokesperson. We have hundreds of agents here today that all feel this. They can't wait. We've been anticipating this for months. Today is just the beginning of what's to come.
You're listening to Nelson Radio on KTLK AM 1150. You can reach us direct as we announce the Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices California Properties change, the passing of the baton from this 11,000 square foot estate down in Del Mar. Elizabeth Tyson is excited that the day is here. She's doing handsprings across the back poolside here.
As well she should.
You can reach us direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or click through at nelsonradio.com. So, David, I want to ask you, as we have that coaching element, as you're leading a charge of a huge organization, the encouragement that you're giving your new team, what is it?
Well, it's very simple. We have an iconic name that's been out in the marketplace for over 60 years. He's now, meaning Warren Buffett, has now chosen to lend that name to the real estate. I think it changes the real estate landscape in America forever. I think it's a huge opportunity to create a brand new history about what real estate is, what homeownership is, what the American dream is. To have somebody of that quality, that stability, that financial strength behind us and the hundreds of companies that come after us is an enormous statement. I think all of us are embracing it.
You started the announcement here in California, but it's obviously a global vision for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
Absolutely.
What's that look like?
Well, I think over the next several years it'll be the United States till we get all of the companies in America that Warren and Ron Peltier and Earl Lee believe should carry that moniker. Once they do that, they're going to expand to Europe and Asia. There's no doubt in my mind. And I think they probably said, they're already getting calls from companies in both of those markets saying, when can we join? They're not there yet, but we will. We're going to become a global organization. There's no doubt about it.
You know, it just was a few years ago, the mortgage meltdown, the Great Recession, and so much of the investment community running from real estate. Now
Right.
Warren Buffett saying with this announcement, real estate is the cornerstone of an investment portfolio. It's where you should be. How does that carry?
Well, I think we've seen that, particularly if you look in California and other major markets around the U.S., a good chunk of the purchases, buying and selling house, have been investors, somewhere as low as 10% up to about 40%. So people are back in the market, and they're back in very big ways. A lot of these transactions are all cash. That's all investors displaying their strength and their confidence in the real estate market.
And with that, there is the investment community, but people as well, the majority, I think, that are looking just for some place to call home, whether it's this 11,000 square foot luxury estate or just the traditional 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. They want a home.
Well, no question about it. And I think that's what our company's always been about, the American dream. I mean, at the end of the day, it really isn't about the house. It's about our communities. It's about our relationships our agents develop with people to help them find the American dream. And owning a house and having a neighborhood and having neighbors, watching your kids grow up with the other kids, that's part of what America's about. And that's what we're invested in.
And I think that's where one of the rewards. You get to see
Absolutely.
these communities develop and grow, and husbands, wives, kids being raised. It's a fabulous opportunity that you have.
It's an enormous amount of fun, believe me.
I want to thank David Cabot, Chief Executive Officer, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties, leading the charge and announcing today the handoff from Prudential California Realty. Take that baton and run with it. Well done.
Thank you so much.
You're listening to Nelson Radio, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Click through at nelsonradio.com and learn more about the exciting new vision of a real estate empire. We'll be right back.
Nelson is a licensed lender under the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 331060.
This is Nelson from Nelson Radio, and it's important that we talk about a very serious issue. We had bad lending practices that led to the mortgage meltdown, but now we've got the challenge of deplorable customer service coming out of the meltdown. Bottom line, getting a new loan can be like pulling teeth without Novocaine. I've got the solution. Academy Mortgage and my team are injecting into the industry real performance and real accountability. Here are the facts. Appraisals in less than a week. Rate guarantees that can improve if the market goes down. Purchase transactions with our market-exclusive close-on-time guarantees and refinance transactions in as little as 30 days. Who would have thunk? Guaranteed rates and guaranteed performance from your mortgage lender. Call me, Nelson, an accountable loan expert for nearly 3 decades, direct at 888-888-2136. That's Nelson at 888-888-2136, 888-888-2136, or at strongcreditrewards.com.